Hey amazing human, welcome in. What do you say we go through the best upcoming shooter games of November in 2023? Get set, ready, go! Let's start this list with one of the juiciest games to drop in all of 2023. I'm of course talking about no other game than the incredibly slow, incredibly destructive, incredibly awesome RoboCop Rogue City. The game that actually somewhat blew my mind. I mean, I was having quite low expectations on this one, as the studio's latest Terminator game didn't really tingle all the right nerves for me. But wow, did they pull it off, at least judging from the very hefty 2 to 3 hour long demo that is up on Steam, that you can play right now if you want to. I mean, the RoboCop himself feels like an indestructible tank. The environments, they are gorgeous and very destructive. The weapons and enemy feedback is through the roof, or at least compared to what I expected it to be. I mean, sure, here and there you can clearly see that this is not a full-fledged AAA game, especially in the cutscenes, but for being a AA studio working on a RoboCop and trying to make it feel and look as authentic as they possibly can, I mean, they nailed it, friends. They nailed it big time.
Your brain.
We must smash that thing!
I've heard people refer to you by different names.
Okay there, Murphy?
Fire at will!
I'm curious to hear which one you prefer.
My name is...
Now this month we also got Cyborg 3003. It looks to be a fairly simple co-op wave-based shooter that can be played both solo and with up to 6 people. And what made this one make the list is the fact that you can switch from third to first person. Just as the rest of the game, it seems to be done in a fairly simple way, but it's still a pretty damn cool mechanic that is not to be taken too lightly. Other than that, the game features 5 different monsters, which is not a whooping lot, and a few weapons and perks. Nowhere is it specified exactly how many of each, so I wouldn't know. And in all honesty, this is not a game I'm overly excited for in any way, shape or form, but it does look decent enough to fill the life with a few hours of co-op fun. And it is coming to PC on November 1st, so now we can all say that we know that. Now this one holds a special place for me. This game was like the 4th or 5th game I ever covered on this channel, and being a much smaller channel back then than I am now, the developers did not care about that. They were super grateful for my coverage and actually sent me some merch from the game. And them showing that gratitude and appreciation played a major role in what sparked the energy inside of me to keep on pushing YouTube. As I pushed, I grew into what the channel is today, and we are nowhere close to stopping the evolution. So stick around, guys. However, due to that, this game holds and always will hold a special place for me. And hot dingly dang does this game look gorgeous. I absolutely love the retro sci-fi style that it has going, and the mere quality on these modern graphics are just freaking amazing. The game, however, is not something we usually talk about on the channel in today's day and age. This is a slower and more narrative and exploration heavy experience, with some tense moments here and there. Nonetheless, this game piqued my interest back then, and it still piques it today. Here is to hoping that the story of the game delivers something that will be as memorable as its graphics.
We have to destroy it. Even if it means destroying everything.
Finally, my friends, Beyond Sunset is coming to PC on November 8th. There's even a demo out right now that you can give a spin to see if this is something for you. Or the even better alternative would be to wait for my review on it, as I will be dropping one. Nonetheless, this is a cyberpunk first-person shooter developed in the amazing GC Doom engine. And it is fun, or at least judging from the demo, it is. Now, this game is a lot more than your ordinary run-and-gun boomer shooter. This is a cyberpunk first-person shooter that goes deep. It features both upgradable weapons, unlockable abilities, and skill upgrades. And to make it even just a bit more immersive, it is built on large open levels full of interactable NPCs. But not only that, the combat in the game feels rather simple at first, but as you dig deeper, you quickly notice that some enemies requires their shields to be taken down, others die very quick from your sword, and so on, opting for a more deep combat system than in most shooters. And this in return makes the game a lot harder. Trying to go all out guns blazing will have you killed fairly quick. You really have to strategize with the above mentioned and use your movement to your advantage to stay alive. Now, I have been hyped for this one for some time now, and my body is freaking ready for it, so Beyond Sunset, bring it! This is another one that I'm excited for, Gunhead. Now this one reminds me a lot of a game that I actually never played, called Cryptark, and the reason for it might be that this is a sequel to that side-scrolling 2D roguelite. The major difference being that this time though, Gunhead is not a 2D game anymore, but a full-fledged first-person 3D game. Now it really does look to set itself apart from your traditional roguelite, with its horizontal and vertical movement, and the fact that you are a flying pirate mech with up to 4 guns mounted on your head. I mean, if that doesn't stick out, please let me know in the comments if there is any other game out there with that in it, or at least something similar to that. Nonetheless, the game looks like a really good time with its procedurally generated Space Hulk spaceships that you get to board, and over 50 different weapons. Wait, hold up, procedurally generated? Fingers crossed they still offer environmental variety to the levels, and that the procedural aspect of things are well done. Too many games have a hard time nailing that, but let's find out if this one nailed it on November 8th.
Pioneer's gone critical. Fire the emergency teleporter!
Now this is one that came a little out of nowhere for me. It was recommended to me in the Discord by a fellow Bratsky. You know, that Discord that you should join that is linked in the description of this video. Oh, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe while we're on it. Now back to Manus Dei. Graphically, this looks very interesting. In my eyes, it reminds me a lot of Incision. I mean, they are rocking a very similar style to them. Everything from the environments, the weapons, and the enemies pretty much reminds me of Incision, which is not a bad thing by any means. I mean, I like my gory, body horror boomer shooters. However, this game has very little information on what it exactly is. There is no updates on Steam, a very short description, but I'm guessing this is a round-based shooter, and that brings me to question how many weapons and how many maps does it have? Does it have any unlockables, any abilities perhaps? How is the general progression? And in all honesty, I have no idea, and I can't seem to dig out any information in regards to it either. But it is sounding on the Steam page like there is just one weapon, and that does not have me all that excited in all fairness. Now I never played this one in my younger days, but I have played Turok, and I mean it looks like Turok, but almost more jank and crazier, so I am down for it. And yes, when I say Turok, I mean Turok 1. Also, I can't help but to get some Sorge vibes from it, which by the way is a fantastic game that you should check out my full review on. That I posted before Civid ever did a video on Sorge. In other words, my expectations for this remaster is very high, and to top all of that, the guys helping to remaster this classic is Night Dive Studios with the infamous Kex engine that has in the past managed to turn pretty much any old game into looking just as we remember them, but more crisp and ready to be run on modern hardware. But what I am hoping for the most is that the godlike compass from the Quake 2 remaster makes an appearance in this one as well. But hey friends, let's find out together on November 14th. It drops on all modern consoles and PC. Wizordum is a game I've been keeping my eyes on for a very long time now. I even covered it multiple times in different videos. There's just something about this game that completely enchants me. I mean, it is so cozy and fun, but at the same time serious and challenging. It is a very old school game filled with orcs, wizards and all-around medieval fantasy things. And that sounds pretty neat, right? Well, it gets better. It truly aims at taking you back to the early 90s, and it nails that feeling so well. With blocky hallways, dungeons and colorful pixels that are perfectly placed, it nails to give you that nostalgic feeling so well. Now the last praise I'm giving this game for this video is that it also has a level editor. So if you're feeling like the level design in the campaign doesn't really live up to your expectations, well, you can create your own levels. And I'm so happy we can finally play this on November 15th. I have been longing for it.
Welcome to Wizordum.
Now you know I like to mix up these upcoming games lists a bit, add in some non-shooter experience, some top-down, third-person and so on. Well, this month is no different. Introducing the Muller-Powell Principle, a puzzle game in first-person that gameplay-wise reminds me somewhat of the Stanley Parable, one of the greatest puzzle games of all time that actually started off as a Half-Life mod. Now in the Muller, however, you play in the near future, more exact the year 2032, and you have just participated in some kind of experiment that went horribly wrong. And I mean, sci-fi meets surrealism, this could get really interesting, and it has definitely piqued my interest. Let me know in the comments if you would be interested in me streaming this game in the near future. Now this one has a very interesting name to say the least, Zombie Survival Game Online. I mean, it's good that the name tells you that it is a game and that it can be played online. I mean, I'm not sure I would have known otherwise. At first I thought this was a movie. Now judging from the gameplay clips, this game doesn't actually look half bad at all. It actually looks decent. And not only will the zombies be your foes in this, you can raid or get raided by other people as well. So this game is all about exploring, surviving and defending. And yes, I know there are much more sophisticated games in this genre, but sometimes something a little more light is just what you need. The more sophisticated ones are usually quite time consuming to even get started in, and this one looks to be more easier on that front. And it is coming this November. When in November is still a bit unclear, but what is not unclear is that this is a game that you can play online. So which one was your favorite game in the list? Let me know down in the comments, let's talk about the game. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe and join the Discord linked in the description. And while doing all of that, don't miss these. They're coming up here now.